Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people around the world, welcome to the introduction to the franchise. As we're going to highlight a few teams, one of them being the Washington Redskins, new head coach Larry O'Reilly in place, as well as the Dallas Cowboys, of course Zach Martin, Ezekiel Elliott, Jason Witten, some of the mainstays, some of the best players on their team, and the Philadelphia Eagles, new head coach Scott Sharp. So that could only mean one thing. We are the New York Football Giants. This just in, head coach or former head coach Ben McAdoo has been fired, along with Jerry Reese, for their incompetence in finding the right talent and coaching that talent. Now, picking head coach, it's usually always between strategist and team builder for me. I usually go with strategist because I get more XP, more scouting points for the draft, you know, because I'm usually building a poor roster. But this year I'm going with team builder for the XP, the extra XP for the guys I already have on my roster, as well as the guys I'm bringing in the future. New head coach that has been signed, Richie Hearns, former defensive line coach of Oklahoma. He's had a lot of success in the collegiate atmosphere, and now he's taking it to the pros, seeing what he can do. And it'll be interesting as we take a look at the roster a little bit later. But Hearns, an interesting choice for head coach. He's never been in the pros, has no experience in the NFL. Had a lot of promise in the collegiate atmosphere, as I mentioned before, but you know that doesn't always translate to the pros. So it'll be interesting to see how he does, how the team functions, and how they respond to the third head coach in the last 3 years. With him is Todd Monken, former offensive coordinator from Tampa Bay. Hearns has brought him in to perform as the offense coordinator for the Giants as well. Hearns will be the defensive coordinator as well as the head coach, implementing his own schemes. This new regime has been established. And I cannot wait till we get to the season, to preseason. But for now, let's take a look at this roster. There's a lot of talent, but also a lot of weaknesses. A lot of spots that need to be filled. And it should be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Hearns does to mask some of the weaknesses. But of course, you can't mention the New York Giants without mentioning stud wide receiver, superstar Odell Beckham Jr. At just 24 years of age, he has transcended football. He is a megastar, a superstar. There's nobody bigger than Odell Beckham at this point. And it's not all hype, because this guy's got the speed, he's got the hands, he's got the spectacular catch ability to make plays when you need it most. And, you know, for an aging quarterback like Eli Manning, you can't ask for a much better player than Odell Beckham Jr. Opposite him, of course, we take a look at Sterling Shepard. Second-year man out of Oklahoma. He was there when Hearns was the D-line coach. Shepard, of course, slot wide receiver, significant part of this offense as well. He's still growing. The great thing about him and Odell, they're so good, but they're still growing. And, you know, when you got a quarterback like Eli Manning that's prone to taking sacks because he's not able to move around as much, you know, having those dump off routes to Odell and Sterling are going to help a lot. As well as this guy, first round pick, Evan Ingram. At tight end, with that speed and that height and that catchability, it's going to be a lot of fun watching him. Him, Odell, and Shep in the same offense. It's going to be magical. It should be magical. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to try out these players. As you look at Ingram, he's got that speed, and that speed at the tight end position can create so many mismatches. You put a safety on him, he can outrun them. You put a and he can box them out. You put a linebacker on him, he'll be infinitely faster. The key, though, is protecting Eli Manning. And here we look at much maligned left tackle Eric Flowers. Can't really do much of anything right. Can't run block, can't pass block. I mean, he's strong, but that can only get you so far if you're not blocking the player. Opposite of you. Take a look at Justin Pugh, probably our best offensive lineman, but that's not saying much because he can't pass block for anything. He can run block better than Flowers, but he can't pass block. And that's the mantra of this offensive line. They're good, at least decent in run blocking, and they're horrible in pass blocking. And like I mentioned before, with a guy like Eli Manning who can't move around as much as he used to, and he could barely move around to begin with, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Eli responds to how this offense responds to this offensive line. Weston Richburg now, our center. Again, decent run blocker, but pass block could use some work. DJ Fluker, probably our best run blocker across this offensive line, but the worst in pass protection. And I mean, it's hard looking at these guys' traits, especially Bobby Hart, because this man can't do anything right. This man is a poor run blocker, a poor pass blocker, and he can't impact block to save his life. But of course, you can't mention the New York Giants without Odell Beckham and this man, Eli Manning. Two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP. The guy has done it all. He's got nothing to prove. At 36 years of age, still going strong. He's one of the greatest. You know, say what you want about him, say what you want about the interceptions and the pass completion percentages. Say what you want. Eli is one of the best. And he's Iron Man. Dude never misses a game. Taking a look at this running game now, we have Orleans Darkwa slotted in as the starter heading into preseason. I don't know if he's going to be the starter going into the season. We also have Shane Vereen. Shane Vereen most likely will not be starting. He'll be more of a pass catcher, third down back, a receiver out of the backfield. Taking a look now at Paul Perkins, young player. You know, I just don't know. As well as Wayne Gallman. You know, it's a three-headed attack potentially, or it's 1 versus 1 versus 1 for the starting job. I don't know who's going to start yet. It should be interesting to figure that out during the preseason. Taking a look now at this defense. And this defense is amazing. And we have to start with Defensive Player of the Year season ago, Landon Collins. He didn't win the award officially, but watching tape, he was clearly the DPOY. This guy is fast, he's physical, he's intense, he brings passion to this defense and passion to this team. And I mean, what more can you say? He's top 5 in his position, and he's only 23 years old. He's gonna get better, as scary as that is. Taking a look now at Janoris Jenkins. Top 5 cornerback a season ago. Definitely paid off what the Giants paid him in the offseason. A lot of question marks behind that contract and if he was worth the money, and he definitely proved it. Most notably shutting down Des Bryant in our 2 victories over Dallas a season ago. He proved that he's a top 5 corner, and you know, we're definitely going to need his prowess and his ability this year and years to come. We're signing to a hefty contract. We're going to need him to continue to build off of his play. Taking a look now at the defensive line led by Olivier Vernon. Talk about, we paid Jenkins a lot of money. We paid him a lot of money. And he paid Jason Pierre-Paul. These 2 guys are going to lead this defensive line. And with Hearns being a D-line coach, he's salivating. He's salivating at the bit, getting to use Vernon, JPP, and of course Snacks Harrison to clog the run. This D-line is probably our best position group of the team. And that is the video, guys, just going over the team, going over players. Preseason is up next. I can't wait. gameplay is coming soon. I hope you enjoyed this. This is Rich, and I'm signing out. See ya.